Gidon, with EcoPeace, your NGO, your baby, you are working with people from Jordan, Israel, and Palestine, even now, on concrete projects that could help for the day after. Could you tell us how you are succeeding in doing that, and what is the peace triangle?
Thank you very much. If we could put the slide of the peace triangle on the screen as well. It's a real honor to be here. And I think it's a real credit to the organizers for also inviting a civil society organization to speak on this stage, because we want to contribute and we want to speak about the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room in moving so many of the discussions that have been held today, and certainly in succeeding in IMEC, is seeing how we can help resolve the Israeli-Palestinian, the Israeli-Arab conflict. And IMEC can play a critical role in doing that. And we propose to do that as Israelis, Palestinians, and Jordanians, because that's what EcoPeace is. I have a Palestinian co-director in Ramallah, a Jordanian co-director in Amman, with 60 staff, 20 in Israel, 20 in Palestine, 20 in Jordan, focusing on how we can use the environment, but not only the environment, the economy and security, in order to build peace. And hence the concept of the peace triangle is transformative, because it's coming and saying that Palestinians need to see how they can live with dignity in their own state. It's coming and saying that Israelis need to see how they can live in security in the Jewish state. And Jordanians need to see how they're going to live in prosperity with the rest of the region. And the peace triangle concept helps each of our people see the future. Unfortunately, our leaders at the present are not providing us with the vision of the day after that enables our peoples to see themselves living in dignity, security, and economic prosperity. IMEC, with the Peace Triangle edition, presents that opportunity, but not only in concept, but in real project. And we're proposing 3 catalytic projects. The 2 of them are not our ideas. They're part of the IMEC idea. They're part of other ideas. One, of course, as Gerard mentioned, is the railway. And the railway is already largely built from the Saudi border with the Emirates all the way to the Saudi border with Jordan. It's built there clearly. There's nothing on the Saudi-Jordan border. It's built to head to the Mediterranean. And we say extending that railway through Jordan to Haifa is brilliant, but it's not good enough. We need to see, and we propose, that Jordan be a hub. And as the enlarged map shows, a second line also going to Gaza, so that Gaza port, like Haifa port, can enjoy the type of prosperity that is envisioned for dignity for Israelis and Palestinians. And there, we welcome Adani to build the port, or the Saudis, or the Emiratis. And by doing so, the project becomes catalytic, because it doesn't just meet Palestinian dignity needs of prosperity in their own state, but it also helps meet Israel's security needs of living in its Jewish state. Because as soon as the economies of India and the Gulf and Saudi and Europe become dependent on the railway, on the corridor through Haifa, but also on the corridor through Palestine, the West Bank, and Gaza, then it's no longer just an Israeli-Palestinian interest for stability and security. It's the interest of all of our neighbors, of all of our partners in this IMEC corridor. So the corridor becomes transformative when we see how Palestinians, Israelis, and Jordanians benefit. Similarly, another transformative idea, not our idea, of the Middle East, and particularly the Neom area, South Jordan, Neom of Saudi Arabia, southern Jordan deserts, and the Sinai of Egypt, producing large-scale renewables through sun, through sea, through production of green hydrogen. And a study that we were involved with Tel Aviv University shows that this area can supply 30% of the energy, of the electricity needs of the eastern side of Europe, from Greece to Germany. And therefore, it clearly meets also Europe's needs of meeting its climate, European green targets, but it also helps Europe to remove itself from a dependency on Russian gas. And in this concept, again, we see in the red lines important developments. Europe is already connecting its electricity grid from Greece to Crete to Cyprus and onto Haifa. And there are plans from Cyprus or Crete also to Egypt. And we say, great, but not good enough. We need to see the infrastructure that Adani is talking about, that Gerard is talking about, also to go through the West Bank and Gaza, to go through Palestine. Again, so that we can show Palestinians how their state can live in dignity, and how the rebuilding of Gaza in the day after will not be dependent just on donor funds, but will be led by public-private partnership because of the prosperity that a railway with a port, a export and provision of cheap energy through our three countries can provide our region. And again, through that investment, and it's billions of dollars of investment that also go through Gaza, means that there's increased security for Israel. Because again, the stability of the situation in Gaza, in the Palestinian territories with Israel, becomes a corridor priority. So it's a transformative change in interest. And then finally, on water, and this is indeed EcoPeace's project of Project Prosperity, where we see an agreement signed in 2022 between Israel, Jordan, the UAE, in a water energy exchange, where Jordan's renewables powers desalination in Israel and then sells desalinated water back to Jordan. Well, in our original plan, we saw also desalination in Palestine, in Gaza. And on the day after, we can see large desalination facilities being built in Gaza that not only supply water to the Palestinian population in Gaza and the West Bank, but also sell water to Jordan, making the project a potential public-private initiative, transforming again the interests so that stability in Gaza is not only an Israeli-Palestinian issue, it becomes part of Jordan's water security. And in that way, we're really learning from the experience of Europe, of regional integration. This is the coal and steel that brought Europe together after World War II, that brought Europe to the longest period of shared prosperity. So harnessing the sun and the sea and building the IMEC corridor that invites Israel, Palestine, and Jordan together to join IMEC can be the impetus for the day after to really bring the type of economic, but not only economic, security climate resilience, and two-state regional integration solution.
Thank you very much, Gidon.